The night Tunde's father collapsed, rain poured through the broken roof of their house. Water soaked the floor as his mother knelt beside him, crying for help that just didn't come in time. By the next morning, Tunde was fatherless. At just 12 years old, his childhood was over. The world he knew disappeared, replaced by a constant, gnawing hunger. School fees went unpaid, and some days Tunde would walk to class with an empty stomach, only to return home to a house filled with silence and grief. He could hear the neighbors whispering, their words like poison, saying his dreams had ended before they even had a chance to begin. But his mother, she refused to give up. She was a fortress of strength. She started selling food at the roadside, enduring the scorching sun day after day, and washing clothes late into the night. No matter how bone-tired she was, she always found the energy to watch over Tunde. She'd look him in the eye and say, "You will not become a victim of circumstances. Pain will not destroy you." Her voice was firm, a promise he clung to. Life was hard, but the discipline she instilled was even harder. Before the sun was fully up, before school, Tunde had to sweep the entire compound and help his mother prepare her goods for the day. After school, while other kids were out playing, he was inside, studying by the dim flicker of a single candle. Sometimes he'd complain. It was just too much, but his mother would gently remind him, suffering without direction is useless, but suffering with a purpose, that can change your entire life. Temptation didn't wait long to find him. Some of the other boys in the neighborhood had already turned to crime. They had flashy things, and they would mock Tunde for following the rules, for struggling honestly when there was an easier way. One day, they cornered him. They offered him easy money, more than he had seen in months. His stomach ached with hunger, a physical pain that screamed at him to say yes. His heart pounded with fear. But in that moment, he saw his mother's face in his mind, her tired eyes, her calloused hands, but her unbroken spirit. Tunde looked at them, shook his head, and said no. Secondary school was a new level of struggle. It nearly broke him. He failed a major exam, a really important one, all because he refused to cheat when everyone else was. The shame was a heavy cloak he couldn't take off. It followed him everywhere. His teachers started to doubt him. His friends, the ones who did cheat, moved ahead, leaving him behind. But Tunde did not stop. Quitting wasn't an option. He just studied harder. He found small, odd jobs to earn a few coins. He endured the insults, the loneliness, and the feeling of being left behind. Through it all, his mother was his rock, encouraging him with the little strength she had left. Then, one day, the results for the retake came. Tunde had passed. He didn't just pass, he passed honestly and brilliantly. It was a small victory, but it felt monumental. It was proof that his mother was right. University life was another storm. He was in a new city with even less support. There were days he had to choose between a textbook and a meal. He chose the textbook. There were nights he lay awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering if this relentless struggle would ever end. Was it all worth it? Still, he refused to take shortcuts. He held on to discipline like it was a rope pulling him up from a deep, dark pit. It was his guide, his only constant. Years passed, years of sacrifice, of discipline, of holding on. And then, that same boy, the one who studied by candlelight, stood on a stage before a cheering crowd in his hometown. Tunde had become a respected professional, a man known not just for his success, but for his unwavering integrity and excellence. He returned not with arrogance, but with a heart full of gratitude. The first thing he did was rebuild his mother's house. The roof would never leak again. He then started a foundation to support young people in his community, kids who reminded him of his past, kids with big dreams and empty pockets. As the community celebrated him, the elders spoke with pride. This man was shaped by hardship, one of them said, his voice ringing with admiration. Discipline carried him where comfort never could. Tunde looked over at his mother. She was older now, her face edged with a lifetime of hard work, but she was smiling through tears of pure joy. He took the microphone. "I began with loss," he said, his voice soft but clear. "But discipline gave me the victory." The rain no longer leaked through the roof of their home. The boy who was once surrounded by tragedy now stood tall in triumph. and his story became a living lesson for everyone there. A lesson that echoed through the entire town. Hard beginnings do not cancel great endings. Discipline is what completes the journey. Thank you for listening. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe for more content that inspires.